The first analysis that you should do when you open an SPS data file is a frequency analysis, because you want to make sure that you've typed in the data correctly, that there are no extreme values or what we would call outliers. Because if you don't do that, what will happen is you'll do something like I did, or I've done in the past, where I'll analyze all the data because I'm so excited about the data. Maybe you won't be as excited about the data as I am, but I get excited. I start doing all the analyses. I run 15 analyses, and then I realize there's a couple of values that are extreme values and are skewing the data or making it look odd, or something strange is happening. Then I go back, I realized I've typed in data incorrectly, so I have to run all the analysis again. So let's clean up the data first, and you clean up the data by doing a frequency analysis. So I'm going to click on Analyze, Descriptive Statistics, and Frequencies. It's right above Descriptives here. So I'm going to click on Frequencies. And what am I going to do? Well, I'm not going to do ID because I know there's one value per ID number. That's the idea. The idea is that you're supposed to have a unique identifier for every person in the data set. So I'm going to select other variables: gender, course interest, computer comfort. And I could keep doing this, but I'm going to click this value up top, and then I'm going to scroll down here and press the Shift key on my keyboard, and then do that. And so that will allow me to send all the values over. And then I'm going to say OK. I'm saying OK, and I actually click on OK. So let's take a look. What's the situation here? Well, we have course interest. So let's take a look. These are the values. Remember, I typed in the values. So a 1 is not at all interested. I didn't type in the right spelling there, but a 2 is somewhat interested, a 3 is interested, and a 4 is very interested. And there's 2 values for not at all interested, 17 values for somewhat interested, 75 values for interested, and 58 values for very interested. And it's nice, they've got the percentages here, 11%, 48%, 37%. I'm just rounding off there. So then when I report the data in my thesis or project, I can say, I can add these two up, and that's about 85. Yes, 85. So I could say 85% of the students were interested or very interested in the course that they were taking while using the laptop. So, unfortunately, I have a 5, a 9, and a 43, and that's an issue because I don't want those values, so I probably typed them incorrectly. I could go back to the raw data, and I might do that, or I could just delete the values. If I delete the values, they won't have any impact. It's just 1 or 2 values, and all the key values will be in this section here. All right, so that's what I'm going to do. So, but before I do that, let's just take a look at the rest. And you can see 9 and 22 are sticking out. That's no good. I can see hours per day on the laptop, 25, 26, and 32. Well, those are obviously errors because that's more hours than there are in a day. And then most of these are okay, right? I can see these labels. I don't see anything. Oh, there's a 9 sticking out there. So it's pretty easy to catch the ones that are jumping out. By the way, a system missing value just means if there's a blank in there. So when you have a missing value, if somebody doesn't put in the value, just make it blank. And blah, blah, blah. Oh, there's a 9. Well, there's a big one, 555, and that would really skew the data because this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 555. Must have been leaning a little heavy on the 5 key. So maybe I meant 5, or maybe just to be sure, and maybe I don't want to go back to 150 records and find the data, so I'm just going to delete that value. So, all right, so let's go back to the original one, and I'll show you how to delete values. So here we are, 5, 9, and 43. There's 1 5, there's 2 9s, and 1 43. All right, let's go back. So here we are, and what was that value? It was course interest, I believe. So there it is there. If I double click that, I'm now in the data view. See that? Variable view, double click, switches down here in orange to data view, and there it is. There's the value. What's the value I wanted to delete? I believe it was a 5. I wrote that down, so I'm going to press Control 5, Control F. Sorry, not Control 5. Control F. That's for find. I'm going to put F. I need to speak clearly. I'm going to put a 5 in there and find next, and there's the 5. And I'm just going to highlight that and press the delete key. Right. Oh, I see the 43 there, so I'm going to highlight that and delete that. And oh, I see a 9 there too. I mean, you could scroll down all the values and delete that. I don't know where the other 9 is, so I'm going to put a 9 there. Find next. There it is. I'm going to double click, delete, and there we go. So I've gotten rid of all those values, and I'm going to close this, and I'm going to run that frequency analysis again. So analyze descriptive statistics frequency. Okay. And if I go here, look, it's all cleaned up. There's no 5, 9, or 43. And I can clean up the next one, which is a 9 and a 22. They seem to be there. So I go to computer comfort. Let's do that again. So I'm going to go to here, computer comfort. There's the value, what was it, 22? So control F, 22, enter. There it is. Get rid of that. Delete. I think there was a 9 too, wasn't there? Find next. There it is. Get rid of that one. And I believe there were 2 9s. And I'm right. So there we go. I'm going to check again. Nope, I'm done. So I've cleaned up this data. I've put missing values, deleted the values. Just to double check, I'm going to go to Analyze Descriptive Statistics Frequencies, run it again, and it was computer comfort, I believe. And I have 3 missing values. I got rid of the 2 9s and a 22, so those are now just empty. And then here are the correct values, and that's how you would do it. That's how you get rid. That's how you clean up your data, and that's the first thing you should do when you do analyze a SPSS data set.